Hello friends and family from near and far. I hope this thing's recording already. I'm too far to be able to see any blinking lights or anything, but listen. Welcome to my off-grid homestead in the forest in New Brunswick, Canada. Only a couple of days ago, I was out here shooting a video for you, and I was telling you how surprised I was that there was no snow around. All the snow had melted. A foot of snow had gone, melted away. And here we are, we woke up to this today. Tastes good. We don't have any industry where we are now, obviously in the forest. And so the snow, this beautiful, some's falling down off the roof already. This beautiful, pure white snow stays like that. Anyway, this is the kind of snow that I'm used to from my childhood. That is to say that it's huge flakes, big, heavy, and wet, as opposed to what we normally get around in our region. I mean, they get this sort of snow elsewhere in Canada, or even in our own province, closer to the coast, but we're not used to it. We're used to more flaky, powdery, 90% air kind of snow, which the skiers like. But this is the kind of snow that I like. It makes it almost impossible to shovel because it's so heavy. This is like 75% water. But let's see if you can hear it. Crunch. This is probably the kind of snow that you know and you're used to in your neck of the woods. But I'm excited. It's enough to bring anyone to tears, especially me, because it's very nostalgic as it's coming down as it is. And look at it. You can't see over there. I don't have a wide enough angle. It's almost like this. I'm going to give this a little yank so you can see what they're coming off. We have a metal roof, so it's almost like an avalanche when it comes down. But I give this little branch a little tug, and some of the snow might fall down. And if it's in your viewfinder, you'll see how magical it is without getting any on me. Let's see. And you can see how much it weighed because it went from here up. It went up a foot. That's how much that little bit of snow weighed. That's all water. I'll give it a bigger yank so you can see if any of the higher ones will come down. Maybe you remember this from the time that, or where you live as a kid, you would kick a tree and the whole thing would come down. Let's see. Were you able to see that? I'm not sure. This morning when I got up and checked my emails, I had an email from my elderly neighbor across the road. She has a tree down that she wanted me to process or get rid of. And I'm not looking forward to it because any of you who have a chainsaw or know how a chainsaw works, in my older chainsaw now, I mean, it's not that old, it's only 3-4 years old, but I use it a lot more. It's not a hobbyist thing. I live in the forest. I got to move trees. I got to cut them and delimb them. And so now it's starting to leak oil. It's battery powered. In case you're wondering why you need oil for battery powered chainsaw, is because the chain, the movement of chain in this loop on the bar where it turns around it, Well, it requires lubrication. And each, if you ever, it's like a bicycle chain. If you look at a bicycle chain, there are links, many, 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 many links, and they all need to be lubricated, or else metal turning at the speed that it goes, that heats up a lot. And you don't want heat and sparks or whatever in the forest. Anyway, so starting to leak, and when she emailed me to ask me to move it, I thought, oh no, I don't want to refill it with oil just to drag it up, because from the house to the driveway, to the foot of the driveway, that's about 130 feet, and from there to her house, it's another 130 feet, and then to where the tree is, that's another 130 feet. So I got to drag this heavy chainsaw. It doesn't matter if it's battery powered or gasoline powered, chainsaws are heavy. In total, I got to drag it something like 400 feet, whatever that works out to, some of you who know meters. And just to process one tree, and then you set it down, well, the metal parts that can rust, and if the oil is dripping, and it can go into the soil. I didn't want to have to then drag it back down, unlike a gasoline powered chainsaw. When you leave with a full reservoirs maybe of oil and gas, and by the time you're done, that's all gone, so you're walking back with an empty chambers. Battery powered chainsaws don't get any lighter as you use them, or as the battery runs out. And then but I know something I have to do. It's something you do as you get older. There are things. She's very capable, really capable. She can do a lot, but as you get older, there's things that you can't do on your own. So processing a tree is one of those things. And then you have to move this tree. The video that I shot a few days ago, when there was no snow, you could see, and if you go back and look at it, you can see how many trees were down in a sort of a tiny little storm that we had. And it's not a question of just cutting the branches off and leaving them there, and they'll become a hazard. Trees take up a lot of space, especially the top branches. This is why those ones came down, because they're top heavy. So imagine my hand, the trunk, and this is the top. When it rains and snows, the top collects all that rain and snow, and it becomes sort of like a fulcrum. If you don't know what a fulcrum is, a shovel, when you put a shovel into the ground and you yank it back, or a crowbar, right, for ease of prying. So then they fall down, and with it, when they fall down, they bring down other trees, because their spans of branches are so wide and hard that all they have to do is nudge another tree over and knock it down. So it's a lot more work than it sounds. But I really want to stop talking and let you enjoy this, in case you don't have this where you live. I know my brother in California, the rest of my family in California. Shout out to all of you. I can't name you all one at a time, but I know you've been asking me for this, so here you are. Let me just get that camera, and it's not that's the other thing. I don't have a action camera which can handle higher and lower temperatures, so this is just a regular camera. But because today, right now, is about with the wind chill, there's no wind, but I mean, it feels like -3 Celsius, which is glorious for this time of year. In our region, it could easily be -20, which in fact will be in a few days. Whereas it's now -3, so much difference in temperature. I'll just pick up this camera, and I apologize in advance for its shakiness. It's just a regular camera. And then we'll go through the forest together. Normally I do this by myself. I love doing this by myself because of listen. Nothing. But I'm just trying to share this experience with you. And but I will try to talk as little as I can so that you can hear the serenity of the forest, the peacefulness of the forest, and hopefully you can at least virtually experience this. And I'll take you around, see if the solar panels are covered or not. All right, ready to go? Here we go. Well, the solar panels are, I don't know if you can see, I'll try to zoom it, fairly clear. I would say 80% clear. Unfortunately, we don't have much sun. Although it's bright, you don't have much sun to collect. There you see a dish, a satellite dish up there on your left. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell you. We're realistic homesteaders. We're not one of those hardcore, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I mean, we all need internet connection. This is how you're able to see this video that I'm shooting now, because uploading takes a lot of bandwidth. For those of you who don't know about this place, this is our gathering place. I have at least one video on it. Let's just go in, just not go in really, but just it's good to just check to see all the windows are okay, nothing's fallen on the roof. We are in the forest after all. But if you want to see a video on this structure alone, look for it, it's there. And I'll tell you what these things here are for, what the structure is used for. And if we sell this place, potential for doing the same thing, same uses and more. Anyway, gorgeous, I love it. Okay, let's go in the forest. A big thing of snow just fell on my head. Thankfully, I missed the camera. I wish I had a wide-angle camera so you could see more. This only shows you, I'll tell you, I'm looking at the viewfinder, something like a 20 feet angle, width. It's a little bit also, ooh, look at that tree that's about to fall down. That huge tree, that's about 100-foot tree. Thankfully, or unfortunately, however you look at it, there is a golden birch that's holding it up. And that golden birch is what I call a Neptune's fork, and I'll tell you why. If I do have it in another video that you can go and have a look at why I call it a Neptune fork. But let's go by it. I'm not worried about walking under that particular tree, because it's being held up by a hardwood tree, although it's not good for that hardwood tree, and that is now, they call it hung. That is now a problem. I don't know how to get rid of that enormous tree. I really don't know how to get rid of it. It's too big, and what could probably would need is a tractor, that a team of people, that somebody will pull the tractor, or run a rope or chain around it and pull it as someone cuts it, and then yank it away from that golden birch so it doesn't break or it doesn't break as many branches. It's impossible that they can. But since I don't have a crew or a tractor, that's going to stay there for I don't know how long. We'll see what the nature has in store for it. Well, there's a video on this too. It's an outhouse that we never really used. There's a video on this too. Let's just go, while we're here, why not show you it? But look for it. I have a video pretty much dedicated. Look at this gorgeous moss growing on one of this. I built this in a style of bushcraft, but it's not complete bushcraft. I mean, like I said, I'm realistic. If I have to use hinges, I use hinges. If I have to use clear panels, I use that. There's screws that I use. So this is a lady's one, and that's a gentleman's one because it has a toe kick. And it's bright, clear, happy, not stinky. Snowing on me. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I was saying that this could be a dangerous place to walk in right now because all these trees that are top heavy, it's not just the snow weighs so much on them that they can snap the tops or the whole tree even. And you really have to keep your ears open for the slightest sound of snapping sound to detect where it's coming from and run the other way, but also without. Oh, see another tree there? That's about a 20-year-old tree that's falling now, but it's gotten hung up on a few other trees there. And not the easiest to get rid of, but it's possible. It's not like this other one. Look at this giant one that I was showing you from further back. See how it's brought down another tree with it, a smaller tree that was close to it, and that smaller tree, is that a maple? Oh no, if it is a maple, I have to release it. Let's get closer so I can have a look, because I don't want maples. Oh no. Is it? No, it's not a maple. So they're both firs, and that's okay. So this is good. I can use, provided I can bring this down, but the problem is that it's hooked on so many other trees. And this is why I'm trying to, in my other videos, I say that this forest needs to be thinned by something like 60-70%. Because when something comes down, it kills whatever else that's in its path. So this is my golden birch that I said is a Neptune's fork. I have a summer video on this that you can go and see. You see it? You see the Neptune's fork? But unfortunately, unfortunately, see at the very tip of it, that evergreen's gotten hooked on. And that is not good. Evergreens grow for every 100 evergreens, maybe even or more, maybe 200 evergreens, there's one hardwood tree. Like golden birch is a hardwood, white birch is a hardwood, but not as hard. Maple, oak. Oh, it's garbage day today, I think. Did I put the garbage out? I think I did. The garbage truck is coming, even on a day like this, in the forest. Listen, if you listen, you can hear it. And it's amazing to hear. That's the only car that's going by. And that's, it's disturbing the peace, but the garbage has to go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either that or, oh no, it's not. It's a plow. There it is. Can you see it? Yellow. So two big machinery. The plows here come on days like this, one time at 6:30 in the morning before the school buses come, and throughout the day if the snow persists more. This was not the case when we lived in the city, because in the city the plows didn't come to clear the roads or our side streets. They didn't have to until 24 hours after the storm. The priority for them was the main roads, main arteries. But not here. Here in the forest they come pretty quickly. I don't really have to go anywhere, but if I did, the roads would be clear. Oh, gorgeous. There are the raised beds resting. So we wake them up again in the springtime. Everything's resting, the compost bins are resting, and yeah, the leaves are breaking down. The back solar panels are completely clear, thank God. Well, folks, that's all for now. If you know someone that lives in the forest or has access to a bit of forest, you can ask them. This really is the best place to be, but if you're able to get yourselves out of the city, and even for just a few hours, go to a place like this. It's such a magical and healing place to be, and it's such a privilege to be here. And there are sacrifices that obviously one has to make, but well worth it. So I say, snow's falling off the roof. Think outside. Box not required. Till next time, Take care of yourselves, folks.